Well, hello there, friends. Oh, I got a surprise for you. An Italian sauce meet the French chef. A tomato sauce, then we're going to do, or you're going to see, it's going to have a French twist to it. First, I'm going to roast the tomatoes. All right? And I got beautiful vine-ripened tomatoes. Not easy to find in Fort Lauderdale. I hope where you are, you can find good vine-ripened tomato. In Fort Lauderdale, mamma mia. I have to go all the way to like 10 miles to a little store and sells farm-raised vegetables that are beautiful. So I have a regular beefsteak tomato and I have plum tomatoes. Sometimes the plum tomato have a little more pectin in the skin, so I use them. And all I do basically is I remove the core. You see, I remove the core, and it's easy to remove the core. See, you go in like this, and you turn around. You got to remove the core for two reasons. One, because it's going to make it easier for me to peel off the skin. And two, because we don't like it. So that's a good reason right there. So I got the tomato, and I'm going to cut them in half this way. I'm going to cut them in half this way, right? And then I'm going to put them face down, and I got some olive oil in the bottom. You see? Take it right there. This is prettier. Sometimes they're not so pretty, but this is a pretty tomatoes. You see right there, friends? Those are gorgeous tomatoes. Right there. And then we take a little bit of roasted garlic olive oil. If you don't have roasted garlic olive oil, put a good garlic oil, put a good olive oil, good extra virgin olive oil, okay? And make sure you always buy extra virgin, not that 100% pure stuff. I call it 100% pure, you know what. Okay, so then the plum tomato, and we do exactly the same thing. I'm only going to need one, and I just put them this way, and I do the same thing. A little bit extra olive oil right there. I got the oil in the bottom of the dish. And I got the oil on the top. That's going to make a lot of sauce right there. But we're going to determine how much let around, okay? And we're going to see. I got enough tomatoes. I promise you. I forgot the weight of it, but I got enough tomato. I got my end rate and my oven going at 450, 500. Pop them in the oven, and then when they're beautiful caramelized, we're going to come back and we're going to make a sauce. And you're going to love it, I promise you. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, friends. Well, they were in the oven almost an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. And now, I'm going to put them on a broiler because I really want them to be golden brown. I'll show you. I rotated them because, see, I had two layers. I had two layers of it. And so I had to rotate them because I had two layers. You're probably only going to have one layer. But if you have two, you got to rotate them, right? So this looks good, but not the way I want it. I really wanted some caramelization in there. So we're going to go back and we're going to turn on the broiler. And I'm going to have to rotate myself because I have two of them, okay? So we're going to put them back in the oven. I'm not going to put them on the broiler quite yet because I'm going to make the onion right now. And I want to keep an eye on them. Because I don't know about you. But let me turn this thing on. I don't know about you, but so often I turn on my broiler and I go do something, and then I come back, mamma mia, it's really hot. So especially this one, I got an infrared broiler, so super hot. So friends, normally when I make a regular tomato sauce, I put some beautiful olive oil, but it's not a regular tomato sauce. So we're going to put butter. Yes, I got butter going over there, regular butter. So regular butter is going to burn, but that's okay because I'm going to put the onion, and the water in the onion is going to make it possible so the butter doesn't burn, but it's going to give us a nice caramelization. So here we go, friends. We're going to saute the onion, get them beautiful golden brown so they're sweet. It's going to take a little while, but I'm going to be here. I want to keep an eye on it. We're going to put some salt and pepper. The salt is going to help us draw more of the moisture of the onion, right? And then we're going to saute that like this. Very simple sauce to make, friends, I promise you. We're going to saute them and get them golden brown. And then we're not going to put the garlic. Remember, we don't put the garlic at the same time now. We saute the onion first, then we put the garlic, and then we put something wet on top of it immediately. The tomatoes are very wet. There's a lot of moisture in there, okay? So we'll be back in a minute. When the tomato would have beautiful golden brown, you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove the skin of it, and then I'm going to put them in there, and then we're going to let this cook. All right, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, friends. You see, it takes a long time, eh? So this I already remove it, and you know, and if sometimes the skin don't come out, don't worry about it. A little bit is no problem. But you know, tomato skin is very difficult to digest. That's why when you buy a good tomato, it's already peeled for you. Then you don't have to deal with that skin. They're very difficult to digest. Some people can't have them at all. But look, I'll show you how easy it is to remove. See, you take it, boom. Okay, look, here, boom. The plum tomato, look at that, see? Trust me, you don't want to eat that. It smells great. You want to eat it because it smells great, but I promise you, friends, you can't eat the skin of a tomato. Okay? It's not so good. I mean, you can eat it if you want, but okay. Look at beautiful caramelized onion right there, right? So now, friends, we're gonna take the garlic, and I'm gonna put some chopped garlic. How much you put in? It's really up to you, friends. There's no right or wrong. Okay? There's never any right or wrong. It's your way. Whatever you want. You want a lot of garlic? Put a lot of garlic. You want a little garlic? Put a little garlic. No right or wrong. All right? So now, a lot of people I see do this. They remove the tomato water. They remove the tomato water. You know how amazing this is right there, friends? You're not going to believe. This is amazing. It tastes like a very light and delicious tomato sauce, and we haven't done anything. It's the tomato water. You don't throw it away. Whatever you do, don't throw it away. If you have too much, you add a little bit of tomato puree in there, and it gives you more body. So, garlic, remember now, I got the garlic in there, right? And I got the heat going. Oh, yes, I can smell it. So I'm going to put some fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh thyme, you use white thyme. But remember, whatever the recipe calls for, you use half, okay? So I'm going to put a little basil in there, friends. And you take the basil leaf and just roughly chop. Don't be precise at there. Just roughly chop. It's okay, you know. I don't know if you've ever bought tomatoes. Sometimes they come with the tomato leaves in there. That's what they do. Okay? And then you watch what I do with the stems, friends. Take all the leaves off. Cut them up in little pieces. Right? And the stem, you'll see. What happened is there's a lot of beautiful flavor in the stems. A lot of beautiful flavor in the stems. So you know what I do, friends? Okay, the little leaf like that. Don't be too, I mean, maybe you cut them up a little more than I did, okay? You don't want no long pieces of basil leaves also, because then it makes it not practical. And then we take the stems, boom, we'll put them in there. And then, you know, we'll remove them later, not to worry. All right, so now we take our tomatoes. I don't want to make a mess. Normally, I would throw the right in there, so that's what I'm going to do. You take your tomatoes and put them right in there. And that's going to save the garlic, of course, because of all of that water there. We're not burning the garlic, right? We'll continue this way, friends, and then we're going to put the water from the tomatoes. And we're going to cook this for a while. And then we're going to use the potato smasher. You know, the one a lot of people make mashed potato with? I don't make mashed potato with it myself because I use a potato ricer. Okay, but this is so don't worry about the stems. We're going to remove them. You see, look, it's amazing how many tomatoes I had, right? And how little, and don't throw this away, please. Tomato water right there. Ooh, this is zero dangerous. The thing is so hot, I don't want to grab it. But you know, right there, there's some goodies right there. And I want a little bit of those goodies right there. And Jean-Pierre, whatever you do, don't burn yourself. Put them right there, right? And then we're going to take those tomatoes. We're going to put them in there. There you go. That don't take forever, right? So now, if you could be here right now and smell the flavor, the smell that I get out of those tomatoes, friends, it's just amazing. It really is amazing. And see, now the tomatoes I've cooked. So now we're going to put a little bit of salt. We're going to put a little pepper. I'm using a coarse black pepper. We're going to cook this for a while. And then we're going to put a little bit of tomato puree. A little bit, friends. You don't need a lot. Now, what's going to happen is those tomatoes are going to release more water. The tomato puree is just going to give you a little texture. Okay, and we need it. Otherwise, it's just all that water then from the tomatoes. we didn't want to throw it away, friends. We didn't want to throw it away because its taste is so amazing. And see what happened is the tomato puree gives you a little body. All right? It's very important. Texture, remember, the texture is a conductor of flavors. I don't want to put a tomato sauce in there and it's too liquid. And I don't want to put a tomato sauce and it's too thick either. That's why I put very little. All right? Salt and pepper. We're going to cook this very gently to make sure we cook all the onion and the flavor and the fresh thyme and all that. Maybe 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. And then I'm going to prepare a beautiful fish dish that I'm going to make with this. Very simple. You're not going to believe it. This is amazing. All right? So, friends, I'll be back in a minute when all of those flavors have married. And then I'll explain you how I do it. Be back in a minute. Okay, friends. As I was telling you earlier, the smell in here, is amazing. You can smell the basil and the tomatoes. The tomatoes are just amazing. So, as you can see, friends, the sauce is it's not so liquid anymore now. First of all, we lost some of the water. And also, the tomato puree just gave it a little more consistency. So now you want to fish for your basil stems in there. And because they're not so good. And, and then you're good to go. You want to adjust your seasoning. And now, if you use, depends the tomato you use, you could have a little bit of acidity. And as we all know, if we want to offset acidity, we have two ingredients to use, right? One is sweet, sugar. A lot of people put sugar in their tomato sauce to offset the acidity. And the other one is fat. What do you think? Yes. We're going to put butter in there, and that's going to be what's going to make the sauce so smooth and delicious and just amazing, velvety. So we're going to have these beautiful tomatoes, and now it's going to be velvety, delicious. So, turn the heat off. Remember, whenever we're putting butter in something, we want to turn the heat off. We want to turn the heat off, otherwise the butter will separate. Because remember, butter is an emulsion. Okay? Butter is an emulsion. So we don't want an emulsion to separate, and it would separate it if you bring it to boil. So we got to slow down a little bit. On top of the fish, let me tell you about the fish. I didn't tell you. You have this beautiful cod right there. I love cod. You can do it with grouper. You can do it with snapper. You can do it with halibut. You can do it with whatever fish you want. And look how beautiful that fish is. You're probably not going to be able to see it with the camera because that's tough, but to see it on the camera. But it's translucent. You see, it's a little translucent. You probably can't see it, even if I go like this. I don't think you can see it. But it smells nothing. Fresh fish smells good. It doesn't smell fishy. If your fish smells like fish, it's not fresh. It smells amazing. I love it. So look, what we're gonna do, we're on top of the fish, we're gonna put a little bit of pesto. See, I make this pesto. By the way, there's a link right there on the site where Jackie is gonna give you a link for this, and it's to make pesto. And you know what I do with the pesto? I'll show you. And I gotta get going because I can talk and see what I do, friend. I take the pesto and I put it in small container like this, right? And I freeze it. It'll stay on your freezer 17 years. You see? I do it like this. Stay in your freezer whenever you need it. So you make a little, I love those containers. They make it so easy, right? Okay, so now what do? I'll show you the fish. Do whatever fish you want. Beautiful fish. I buy it from my favorite store in Fort Lauderdale, the Fish Peddler. It's called Commercial Boulevard. It's fabulous. See the sauce that stopped boiling right now? You can put a little butter in there. Yeah, don't be shy now. Don't be shy, friends. You don't have to put butter. You can put sugar if you want, but this is not the idea here. Oh, yeah. You know how good that sauce is going to be? You'll be able to rub that sauce all over your body. Wait until it's not so hot. Look at this. Look at it. You can just look at it. You can just look at it and know it's going to be amazing. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. Look at this, friends. I love my life. I love my life. How do you like that? I got a job. Then what I've been doing for the last 50 years is creating beautiful dishes. That's a job, isn't it? Look at this. Oh, it's going to be hot. Be careful now. Don't burn yourself, but you got to test to make sure there's enough salt and pepper because after that, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness. The butter just came through. It's amazing. Really, just need a little more salt. Just need a little more salt. Right there, just a little more salt. You know what? Let's add a little more pepper now. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hold on 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. I just want to test it again to make sure. Ooh, it was hot. It's delicious. Okay, so now, let me show you what I do. This is just a quick little presentation. You know, you can do anything you want with this sauce. You can serve it with chicken, with fish, with shrimp, with pasta. I'm going to make it with fish today. So look, I take a little bit of the sauce. You're going to be so happy there's no more skin in there, let me tell you. You put a little bit of the sauce in the bottom. So if you want to make it for a big family, I'm just making it for 2 people right here. Because in the studio, we're not ready to eat yet. And so I don't want to make it now for everybody because we're not ready to eat, right? So look, I got, look at beautiful that is, right? And then I'm going to put the fish on top. And I'm going to cook. I reduce the temperature of the oven at 375. And look, let me tell you, friends, you got to try this. This is amazing. And look how simple that is. Yeah, look how simple that is. How simple of a dish is that, right? And so if you're going to make it in advance, then a little bit of fleur de sel on top of the fish. Little fleur de sel or salt, whatever salt you got, right? And then we're going to take that pesto that I did. With a pesto, folks, I added a little bit of oil, olive oil. I got the pesto olive oil. It's delicious in there, but the garlic olive oil will be great. Good olive oil will be great, right? And then you take it like this, and look. You put a little bit of the pesto in there. If you don't have pesto, don't worry. You don't need it if you don't have it. You only put it in if you have it. Like I told you, I reduced the fish, the oven to 375. And now I'm just going to bake this. How simple was that, friends? How simple was that? The key is to make the sauce. And it was pretty simple. We're going to go in the oven at 375. And then when I come back, I'll show you what it looks like. It's amazing. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, friends. Time to eat. So look, this one just came out. You know what I like to do also at the last minute, friends? Take a little bit of the beautiful olive oil, put a little bit on there. Or you can put it at the beginning if you want, before you go to the oven. You see, I did this whole dish right there. And that's what we're going to eat later. Okay, so let me show you, friends. I'm going to take the plate right there. And I'm going to take a piece. I want to show you. how beautiful that is. And I also wanted to show you, see, it's going to break. The cut, sometimes we got a little bit of the break right there. I wanted to show you something very important, friends, okay? Let me put this aside. And, you know, I'm always asked the same question. How long do I cook it? How long do I cook it? Can you do me a favor, friends? Invest in one of those things, $20, whatever it costs, $15. It's I don't know what they call it, thermometer. It's a self-read thermometer or instant read thermometer. Takes about 10 seconds, depends how much money you spend for it. More money you spend, faster it go. I got time to wait. I got a thermometer in there. It's $100. It reads in 4 seconds. This one takes 10 seconds. 5 seconds, I save $100. So, look, you want to go in your fish, my friends, and you want to make sure the center of it is, what temperature should your center be, friends? No more than 135, 136. If you want the fish to be tender. So instead of looking at the clock, look at the thermometer, friends. I promise you. You have an overcooked fish, not going to be any good. I promise you. I promise you, friends. So this is not a fish, a segment fish video, but it's very important you don't overcook it. And if you could look at it, I don't know if you can look at it, but look how beautiful that is. You see? Not overcooked, still flaky. And with the tomato sauce in there, look at this. Look at this. The weight of my fork is enough to break the card. Oh, mamma mia. This is amazing. The tomato sauce is like, oh. Fine. I hope you make that tomato sauce and you've enjoyed it. It's buttery. It's amazing. I hope you make it. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell. We'll see you in the next few days with another fantastic video. Thanks for watching.